This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons, like Ariana Barakil, Fafamai Kokomai, Scry de la Rosa, Lilium Tenebrae, Kylin, Ignal the Dragon, Chaitan, Erisu Yamakawa, Jamie Asur, Elim, Lily Black, Chesha Soltiri, Meili Algrian, Sirfula Lirfu, Ariel, Courtney, Dimos, Casey Schaefer, and Major Cat Comet. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 120. 120? Wow.
That seems a lot.
That seems like a lot.
Why does that seem like more than every other day?
It's weird, but we are on 120. But yeah, cool. I'm Lakil Bravestone, and I'm joined today by, wrong order, Yaspot, Rollo Des, and Malavanadar. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. It's November 24th, 2018. FanFest 2018 has ended a week ago today.
It's been 1 week.
Yeah, stuff has happened, of course, this week. We will talk about that. Among the stuff is some interviews that were conducted with Yoshi-P, both by GamerEscape and Famitsu. There's some interesting stuff in there. We will, of course, talk about the RPS scandal. So don't worry, we'll cover that. And we'll, of course, read some MogMail. speakersxiv.com/MogMail. After the show, post-show, don't know what we're doing in the post-show, but it's happening. So if you're watching live, stay tuned. Right. Just wanted to start in quick news with the good old DDoS attacks. They have returned this week. This time, though, NA was the big loser for once. Europe, I did hear some reports on Europe as well, on Chaos, but it seems like they were more prevalent on NA this time.
I was feeling it. It was not a good time.
Yeah. It's just normal now. You just have to. This is the new...
That's not a good thing, though.
No,
they don't seem to be lasting long.
No, they don't. They're quickly recovered, but it's annoying nonetheless.
It's always Tuesdays too. They do it, I think, intentionally for reset day. Obviously.
Yeah. There's not much to say. We've talked about this like in every other episode. So, it's been a week since FanFest. The community is settling down. We're waiting for Paris, which is in February, with the next live letter possibly in December or January. We don't know the date yet, do we? But it's
not yet.
Seeing as 4.5 is out in early January, you'd expect them to be either at the end of December or the earliest of January.
Before or after Christmas, at least.
Yeah. It's interesting to have watched the discussion of Blue Mage sort of going from very, people being very aggressive about it until now it's just mellowed out. It was a very short burst of anger, it felt like, and then, because someone posted it was like the 7... what is it? The 7 steps?
7 stages of
grief.
Yeah.
And it's over now. It is past.
I think honestly, I know for me, because I was pretty upset about Blue Mage too for a while. I think it's just you can't there's a lot of other stuff to be excited about in the expansion. So just dwelling on that one thing, seems kind of pointless after a certain degree. It's you're not going to change it. You're not going to get it undone. Right. It's already. It's the way it is, so
you're still probably getting 2 other jobs, so
sure, exactly, yeah.
This is technically not an expansion job, so
Yeah, that's the thing.
As I said, I'll be sticking by that. If it sucks, we can at least say it was a Stormblood job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Other than that, it seems like there's also of course the server splitting thing. We talked all of this we covered last week, but it's still sad to see people like, especially Europe. Europe is so
got
ripped
real
to
sad.
shreds. And it's weird because it's weird that they've split. We're not going to go into this again, but it's sad nonetheless. Anyways, in some good news, a new website has emerged called MogBoard.
Yeah.
Remember last week we talked about the world visiting system and all that, and how we thought the prices would maybe level out, even out across the servers. We were like, but how? How would you? It was so much. It's such a big task to go jump around the servers to find the prices. We need a website for it, but it doesn't exist because all the ones that currently existed at the time were like shady ones that required you to have like some sort of app running on your computer that sniffed the market board every time you opened it. Turns out our savior was the companion app all along.
It's useful for something, guys.
Yeah, it's
I always said it was good.
I always knew.
Mogboard.com is using the companion app API in conjunction with the XIV something API. And together it just works. It gives you a full on market board. It has you can check cross-world prices, you can check price history, sale history. It shows more than the app, which I think is pretty insane. Although there are restrictions, it cannot get into Balmung because it's locked. There's some Japanese
they sorted
ones.
it out now.
Have they sorted it out?
Oh wow!
Oh,
yeah.
They basically just can use like if somebody has a character and it's connected to
But
it, they can use that.
For Balmung, yes.
Okay, but not the Japanese.
But not
ones.
the Japanese. So
okay,
if you
there
got
are three other
servers,
congested ones.
You can help them out.
I do think this is definitely going to help with the prices. However, I don't think it'll be like the hugest effect, because I think really only like the hardcore people who are going to be doing that are going to, like, I don't know.
Well, it depends on
depends how much to the common. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. It depends on how far it filters down.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I remember using the 11 auction house website a lot, and I was by no means far into that system.
No.
Yeah.
And there was a lot. That was a very extremely popular thing.
It's still up right now, I think. So
still useful.
Yeah. So let's hope this one stays up as well. It looks really good. It looks like XIVDB. It's got the same sort of. Is it the same guy?
It's
Vikian, Premium Virtue on Phoenix. I don't know.
Shout out to that guy.
Shout out
doing
to
God's work.
Same guy.
It wasn't me who did the shout out this time, guys. See,
this is the correct shout out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's the same guy. That makes sense. Yeah, it's really
nice. Good. Yeah, good job.
Good job.
Thanks for your hard work, man.
Yeah, thanks for giving us exactly what we needed. Right. That was mogboard.com. Bookmark that right away. Okay. Let's get into some Q&A stuff. This one's done by GamerEscape. I'm sure most podcasts have covered this by now, but we have to cover it as well.
It's our turn now.
It's our turn.
Mom said it's my turn.
Yeah. This one's from the first full day of FanFest. We should actually, can we give them the link in chat? We should probably start doing that. I feel like that's
posting the articles in chat.
Yeah, the link.
Oh,
can you do that?
Give me un segundo.
I'll just start. So there's a Q&A with GamerEscape. So they ask the first question. If you're watching on demand, by the way, the link will be in the description. With Shadowbringers, you didn't describe the areas we will be going to like you had in prior expansion. Was that intentional? Yoshi-P answers, good question. Warriors of Light will become the Warriors of Darkness, but the timing is not right yet to disclose where we are going. So it was intentional. Still have 4.5 coming up, and there is a lot to experience in that patch, so they didn't want to expose that until 4.5 is revealed.
That makes sense, yeah.
Do you still think we're going to Garlemald?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said we're taking the fight to Garlemald.
They might do another drop a side area on, like they did with Storm, but I don't want them to necessarily. But we didn't know we were going to Arthard until, February European one anyway, so it's the same.
I think it's just like basically it's just not as simple as we expected it to be, right? Like we expected it's going to be like any other Final Fantasy game where it's like, oh, you just go tackle the Empire and you're done.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's normally what happens. You just fight the big bad guy, but it's like, no, not even. We've muddied the waters and now you don't know what's going to happen. So I think maybe that's just kind of what they're, right?
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of twist opposed to like a different area that we didn't expect, like Authard.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Feels like it.
Plus, with the whole sort of Calamity style event going to happen, there's a chance that it'll be a much bigger impact on the world than we think, and so it might change other areas.
Well, that would be interesting.
Nice.
We'll see. What can we expect for PvP? I know this is the question everyone's asking themselves. What can we expect for PvP and Shadowbringers? The finals of the Feast Championship will be taking place in the time up to Shadowbringers. And they want to continue that momentum. PvP content in general will be announced tomorrow. So this is for live letter. Yay!
Momentum.
You know the momentum of waiting 45 minutes to get a single match?
Yeah.
That momentum is
Wow.
so fast. So fast, can't even contain it.
Yeah.
This was the Rival Wings announcement, by the way. That was the secret thing.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for that than the next season of the Feast.
Yeah, obviously.
32-bit support is dropping. What is Shadowbringers adding to the game that is tied to that decision? That's interesting. 2 reasons to drop this support. First, the percentage of players on 32 bits is 1.8% of the player population.
Who are you people?
I want to know your specs if
Yeah.
you're playing a 32-bit system. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Second, the memory is memory maximum is 2 gigabytes, which is 1/4 of the PS4. It creates a bottleneck. So
It does.
nice. So now,
Slowly.
Some 32-bit limitations.
yeah. 32-bit.
They always have a
limitations.
limitation on
It's sort of
hand.
the limitation that came after the PS. We haven't had enough time to start complaining about the 32-bit limitation, but it was about to happen because we were already angry
They've made
about
it work
well
so far.
Furnishing has been an issue.
Housing
Not so
disagree.
much,
Yeah.
but
Housing would disagree for sure.
Yeah.
in general, they've done well.
I mean, this means we might get more outdoor furnishings, which has been extremely limited. We can only place like 30 or on a
bigger
mansion.
textures.
Or bigger textures.
Or
Dude,
just-
okay, I want to talk about the textures thing, because we have talked about this before, but we've actually discussed it the wrong way, because we said that they made the textures in HD, but they didn't. They didn't have time. They didn't have money to make them in HD. The textures we have in-game are low res. That is the master resolution in A Realm Reborn, apparently.
Oh, really?
Listen,
Yes.
I don't know a lot about game development, but I'm going to be honest. Don't you usually make like a master file and then cut it down to the size you want?
But the master file was the low res. They didn't make them in high res. So if they are to...
Are these 1.0 assets they're talking about, or A Realm Reborn?
A Realm Reborn.
Why would they be doing that?
Because they had, I guess they didn't have the resources. This came out during an interview back in the day, and it was basically cutting costs. Remember, this was while Square Enix was struggling really badly, and they had to push this game out in they said it's impossible to make an MMO in the time frame they did, but they did it anyways. This is the result. So that means for them to make HD resolution textures, they have to make them all over again. It doesn't mean that it's not possible, but
I mean, I've never made a texture for a game, but I feel like, what is the difference between making a high res and a low res texture?
That's a good question. I don't know.
But it's like imagine this: like you're an artist making the texture, right? And like, okay, I'm gonna open my 2000. Well, I'm gonna open up my 2000 by 2000 canvas, right? And that's fine, right? But no, these textures are like 5 by 12. So imagine trying to paint like in that tiny little box on your screen and zooming in.
Yeah.
Like, I really gotta I don't understand this process.
Yeah,
it
actually does explain Heian's code, because they would then keep the size of the textures with everything they make. They have like a limited.
Heian's code. It doesn't explain the beautiful ivy in the Dravanian hinterlands, though.
I guess it's just they're not higher res than anything else in the game. Probably they just because it's a smaller asset. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why some things look sharper than others, but they're just.
They're still. I think they could. They're probably drawing them in a lot higher reses.
They might do that now.
Down. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing. If they're still doing that, that makes no sense. If they're still doing that, I highly doubt that's still a thing.
But still, most of the base assets like stone, rocks, and all that are still a realm reborn low res.
Why can't they go out and study real life rocks?
Yeah, just do what 15 did. Come on, take those pictures of the rocks. Spend a good year on that rock.
Yeah. But hey, it doesn't mean that we're not getting HD textures at some point, but it means it's going to take a lot more resources than we might have thought initially.
Which they're going to have to do eventually anyways. Every game needs some sort of spruce up.
Yeah. I mean, Black Desert got an HD remaster or whatever after 3 years.
Let's not even bring that up, because that doesn't make sense in any way. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Right. Any plans to grow data centers in the oceanic region?
That's how they're made. They're plants.
Okay. No plans at the moment, but they are seeing growth, and they recognize that in some zones environments there may be latency, and they would like to be able to progress on those issues at the right time, which means no, probably.
Yeah. Seems to be Australian.
Yeah, kind of.
But you're technically classified as Japanese.
Yeah.
South America and oceanic servers someday, maybe. That'd be nice.
Think about the Africans as well.
Okay.
They're just furthest away from everyone.
That is true. Well,
imagine being a South African player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, South Africa.
I mean, that's probably not. I know a lot of Europeans that play on NA servers. Probably the same, right?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Same distance. One's crossing an ocean. One's crossing
land. Yeah.
Land. Yeah.
I don't know. What else can you tell us about the trust system? Will it make 14 the next single-player Final Fantasy game? Okay, there's a long answer here. Not meant to make 14 a single-player experience. The good thing about MMORPGs is that you will have a lot of players and you should have to play with people. But there are players who are more comfortable playing a single-player game, and some players avoid the game because of elements requiring grouping up. With the MSQ, they would like an option to allow for solo environments. For a solo environment. That is the basic concept for the trust system. But playing through the MSQ with NPCs will get harder as the MSQ progresses. So while they can learn the basics with the system, they should be able to shift into playing with others.
That implies that it's available for the early MSQ, but they implied in the keynote that it was only for Shadowbringers.
Well, no, they did not only, but they said it was going to be available for that as well. I think.
I didn't remember them saying it was.
I just think they didn't mention it is all.
Yeah.
Because they just have leveling content for Shadowbringers, so.
I don't see how the trust NPCs wouldn't make sense early in the game, though.
No.
Because they're wearing different clothes than they're doing.
And you haven't been introduced to them all yet.
That too.
Well, I mean, you get your first dungeon at 15, so by then you've already met...
then you've met all of them, right?
Yeah. You've met at least the first Scion group.
They don't met all of them. You could also just throw random ass people in it.
Yeah, that too. It doesn't
it's fine, right?
Like it doesn't matter too
Grand
much.
Company Squadron.
I mean, they're gonna have to have like certain. I assume if it's because it's only story stuff. It's not like side dungeons, so they're gonna have to swap people out as it makes sense at certain parts of the story, right?
Yeah,
like you can't bring you can't bring like Minfilia to Baelsar's wall, right? Like, that would make sense, right?
And then she's in the cutscenes as well.
Yeah, it would make sense. Here's the thing, though. That I don't know why, but not everyone has to like the game. Like some people don't. I hate to tell you, Square Enix, but some people don't like MMOs. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to have somebody. Hey, you like Solitaire? You'll definitely like Final Fantasy 14 because we've got
a card game. Yeah.
Right. You don't need to like every game that exists.
Yeah.
Right.
You play League of Legends, we got you covered.
To me,
I don't think it's.
To me,
it's. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. To me, it's like as long as it doesn't interfere with the people that do play it like an MMO, I'm fine. Just,
right.
don't. It's not going to bother me if people do.
Yeah, it depends on how much dev time starts going behind it.
Yeah,
if they're starting to like develop a whole single player experience inside, it's like, well, then you're not. What do you like? That's a waste of time, kind of, right? Make it a different game if you're gonna do that. Make a single player game.
I kind of that's true. I kind of doubt that they're gonna do that. I think
Square Enix does make single player RPGs, believe it or not.
Wow.
They could make one instead. That's just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked to some people who aren't into 14 as much as me. Some friends are like, "Oh, this is a nice change. I'll go back," because they have like tank anxiety or heal anxiety.
Then play DPS, right? Yeah, then don't play tank. You don't have to like everything.
I know. I'm just saying this would be a nice way for them to to
experience 10% of the content. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Again, as long as it doesn't interfere with the rest of the game. Whatever.
Yeah, it won't. It's fine.
It's also
maybe it will increase the skill base in the duty finder, because the lower skilled players will now have the option.
Yeah, they'll disappear from the duty finder. Yeah,
that's a good point. I hope they put this and be like, make it very obvious the way to enter with trusts, because if they make it an obscure way, then those people won't.
Yeah,
they won't look into it, right?
Like, say, we notice you've not had many commendations recently.
Sure, exactly, something like that.
Have you tried using trust?
Would you like to give trust an attempt?
We noticed you're playing.
That would feel bad. That's like doing bad in the game. Like, you want to turn down the difficulty?
But that's what they're making it for.
Yeah, they're making it.
That's literally why it exists. So it's not really mean. It's saying, do you want to play it?
People who prefer solo players, or like people who play on Moogle,
right?
Like those sort of players.
Isn't it like if they die, then they don't have to feel weird because they died.
Yeah, it's not like Minfilia's gonna go lol noob.
Right. They should then, because he should talk to you and be like, protect, kick.
A massive like.
Oh my god! Please, can you make like Raubon an elitist or something?
Yeah,
he's like a fucking.
I've only got one arm and I'm better than you.
Way better than you, dude.
The raid meta is pretty defined with which classes are used. With new jobs, are there plans to address this in 5.0? From what we have observed in AlphaScape, the distribution is pretty even, so they want to keep addressing balance as they continue. With Shadowbringers, they want to revisit balance and put another layer of focus on that balance. Balance. Job changes will be revealed closer to launch.
I don't think you can really solve that issue, because people will watch the people who are world first raiders and think, oh, they're using that composition, I'll use that composition. But everything's available. Everything works. The game's really balanced.
Yeah.
In general, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the most part, you can do all content with whatever job combinations you want, as long as they're in the right role.
For the most part,
yeah.
I wouldn't say all content, because there's certain most content, yeah. And you're 100% right. Like, the fact is that no matter what, you could have the best, like, impossibly perfect balancing, right? Immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, even in that situation, there's still a statistical best.
Exactly.
Option. Yeah. Even if it's 0.00001% better, the smallest difference, because the game is so perfectly balanced, it is still statistically better. Therefore, that 1% that everybody's watching is going to use it, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It's like everyone. You can be good on any character at Overwatch, but then people watch the pros and they're like, "Well, he plays that, so I'm going to play that." Right? It's
and then
make sense, right?
Then the devs have to like force changes to try and create diversity in composition. It's very awkward. It just goes really awkward.
Overwatch balance is terrible, guys. Don't even.
This game has had times just as rough.
Yeah.
Dude, listen. It's bad. It's bad in Overwatch. I'm just saying.
Okay.
2.0 Warrior.
Oh yeah. Are we just gonna skip that question? Yeah, we're gonna skip that question. We'll talk about that later. When did you decide to create the FanFest and make the announcements about Shadowbringers? That's an odd question. This is the third fan festival. After the early festivals and seeing the turnout, he knew that A Realm Reborn succeeded. It was about 8 years ago he took on the rebuilding of 14. This is the question that I'm most sick of, but here we go. Rebuilding of 14, and at the time, the idea would have been crazy, but his goal was to fix the game and grow it and be able to have these worldwide tours with the fans. By having the celebration plus new announcements, these events become more fun and more meaningful.
I want to be a rock star. Is what you just said. You're like, I've always wanted to be a rock star.
Yeah.
I started buying lots of rings when I was 17. And I wanted to be a rock star ever since.
Okay, I'll skip the next one. What can you tell us about the endgame content for Disciple of Hand and Land? Will it just be the rebuilding of Ishgard? Well, there will be a lot of new content, but the rebuilding is the big addition. The rebuilding of Ishgard involves a story, so he cannot go into the narrative, but the system will allow for players to interact with the game for an extended period of time. This will be endgame content, so it will involve difficult recipes and or bragging rights for being able to create some of the difficult recipes.
That's nice.
Didn't answer the one question I really want, though. If it's... Because they still haven't made it clear if it's a group effort combined thing or if it's something you do on your own. And I this kind of does make it sound like if it has bragging rights associated to it, that means there is individual rewards, like not necessarily group only rewards.
Right.
So maybe this is kind of hinting the fact that it might be a single
it does
contribution type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because if it was like a group effort, the narrative thing would be difficult to do, right? Because
it's sounding like a Dolmen reconstruction type.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Except way harder. Sounds like it's a way longer storyline.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
God, I can't wait to macro my way through.
Because like having that Dolmen reconstruction system. Looking back on it, like I loved that system, but it was super bare bones. I mean, there was literally nothing to it.
Right.
Like it's just a vendor. It's just a vendor, right? Yeah. So adding that with like maybe combining it with making the collectible system a little more useful or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Attaching it to crafting somehow sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah. And it's just not. They didn't just slap some new scripts on us for endgame. So anyway.
They do make it sound like this could be something, I don't know, like unless they're planning on changing the way endgame crafting functions as a whole, which it kind of sounds like they are. Because this sounds like you could use this to progress every week. Like this could be something like a weekly reset for crafters.
Yeah.
In a certain sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's the endgame stuff. That's where and I hope that doesn't mean this is just where you get yellow scripts for the week or blue scripts for the week, because it could mean that, but I don't know. I'm interested. Maybe you get like rare crafting materials from it each week or something.
Yeah.
Like, give it like a Koban, where you can get storm sap or something like that.
Also, bragging rights usually implies a title or something, so you can mount.
Or a cool glam.
Yeah.
There's some cool Ishgard exclusive, NPC exclusive clothing you still can't get.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited for that. It's also nice to see Ishgard, because we've never seen Ishgard
again.
Yeah, that too. Nice to be back in Ishgard.
And Stormblood crafting's been boring. I'll say it.
Yeah, it has been.
It's been real dull.
It's less broken. I feel, because I feel like in Heaven's Sword everything just got fucked up.
You're 100% right. Everything's back to being balanced and good again, but it's just like it just feels dull. Like it's like Yeah. No, you're totally.
Yeah, I'm hardly craft. Like I was like, oh, I'll craft again. It's back, and then I crafted for like 2 months, and I really don't craft anymore. Maybe this will bring me back. Okay. Do you plan to add more content related or similar to the Rathalos fight?
Ooh.
The potential is there, but there are no plans at the moment. But after Shadowbringers, there is always a possibility. I don't know what that means. Like,
does he mean like base Shadowbringer or patches?
I think he means once the expansion drops.
Yeah.
Do they want more Monster Hunter hunts, or do they?
Yeah,
want
I don't.
More
the question is
just
a bit
like
weird too.
The like dying 3 times failure kind of thing.
I think we all took it different ways, because I took it as a fight with no tank.
Oh.
So we all interpreted it different ways.
I was just thinking more like telegraphed attacks types. Like bosses,
Okay.
Yeah.
Where it's like, let's just set mechanics every thing.
I guess that question's kind of a dud if nobody knows what it means.
I wonder what Yoshi-P interpreted it as and what he answered.
Right,
for.
yeah.
He probably didn't know either, so he just said, well, maybe. But
after Shadowbringers. Yeah. With the merging of TP and MP, the UI will need to undergo a massive change.
Massive change?
What can he tell us about that? With any MMORPG, you are always keeping track of various elements. From an engineering standpoint, it's actually not too difficult, but they have to be careful to balance it all. But the UI team is certainly struggling through the transition.
Guys, how are we going to get rid of one of these 2 bars?
Dude, that's going to be
Which one do we get? Which one do we delete?
It is going to be weird, though, when you log in and you only have 1 bar.
Well, what if it's one really long bar, like as big as
you have to fill the gap?
Like Kingdom Hearts, where it goes to the edge of the screen.
Hell yeah.
That's what I want.
It's going to be really sad.
It is going to be a little bit sad.
I'm going to miss whichever one they delete.
A little bit less clutter on the screen is fine.
It's like it kind of feels like when they change the telegraphs or something like that, and then you look at it years later and you're like, oh my god, what is this? This game used to look like that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The content is incredibly polished, but the cycle is pretty standardized as far as types of content and timing. What is he looking to do with Shadowbringers to keep the player base engaged? To keep up with the pace of development, this pattern is somewhat necessary. He understands the predictability of the pattern, but that's why they added Eureka or Deep Dungeon and soon Blue Mage. For some reason, people don't seem to count those in their consideration. They are making the effort, and the dev team hopes that people will recognize the effort.
I like that he has just confirmed Blue Mage as a content style rather than a class in that. That's good on him for doing that.
Yeah.
It means people will be less angry.
Yeah.
Slightly.
He's
got a fair point though. There is a lot of side content, but it doesn't reward you very well.
Well,
yeah, that's been an issue for a long time.
The thing is, the biggest piece of side content in Stormblood was bad, so...
You're talking about...
Yeah. Eureka.
He can never.
Kurenai?
He's talking about Heaven on High, obviously.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No one plays
that's the thing about that, too. That was just kind of a rehash.
Heaven on High was,
one.
I'm going to say it, boring.
Yeah.
He's talking about the climbing minigame in Gold Saucer, obviously.
Oh, yeah, obviously. No one does that.
Worst side content.
Yeah.
No, you're right. 100% you're right. That's kind of the whole problem, but if we get better side content, then
if these things were just better, I wouldn't be much of a problem, I feel like.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right, that's the end of the Q&A from GamerEscape. I hope
Hold on to your horses, because there's another one coming up.
From Famitsu.
Rock, Paper, Shotgun.
Oh.
No, it's not Rock, Paper, Shotgun yet.
We're doing that one right now.
No.
Reading it.
Right. Okay, so the Famitsu interview. This is just like in bullet points. This is translated by 11 Mile on Reddit because the interview was in Japanese.
I'll put the in chat for you guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
The teaser trailer was made with the direction of a movie trailer instead of the usual ones they did before, and Yoshida had enough of the typical presentation of it, leading to the style change. Oh, he had enough of it. He had enough of it, of the original, of the old trailers, which I agree with, because the other trailers didn't have, like, they just showed up random stuff, like Heavensward just had like red Rasvelgers just in the sky, like there was no. Do you not remember that, the Heavensward trailer?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the live action one where he walked through the snow?
The live act? What are you on about? Yeah, when he's on the
Oh,
bridge.
you mean the one where they were just flying?
They're Racevelgers.
When Racevelger is attacking,
there's
it
like
makes
multiple
no sense.
ones as well.
Well,
like red,
they had some
white.
stuff with like the 2.5 patch stuff.
Yeah,
in
they
there
had.
too.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
The story,
but
it felt.
But there was no voice. There was no narrative in the trailer.
Yeah.
Well,
and it also felt like that wasn't like, it was either like clips of stuff that had happened and then like a theoretical, just like an idea of what the expansion's gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of just fought dragons. It was, I guess, vaguely it was vaguely the what's it called fight?
The bridge one.
Bridge one. Yeah.
Steps of Faith.
Steps of Faith. Yeah, it was vaguely that, but it wasn't really that. So it's like, I don't think that those trailers felt like that was a part of the game. Right. It kind of just felt like an idea of what the expansion is gonna be like.
And I know
this feels like this is the game. Like that, I feel like this is all gonna happen, and we're gonna like see it all happen.
And it's like Kurumatsu saying, they didn't know that was the model yet. That's the problem. That was the problem with all the trailers. They were clearly made before they had fleshed out everything. So it was just like, here's some random stuff that you might see in Heavensward, and same for Stormblood to a certain degree.
What if Kirby's just a placeholder?
It can be.
Well, yeah.
That is such a specific thing. The rest, because this is something we recognize from the game. Russ Velger, we didn't know about at the time. There was just generic
but we do
dragon.
Now we recognize that there were 7 of him. Yeah, it didn't have like the eagle or whatever, the hawk.
Right. Yes.
Yugiri and what's his face didn't stand on top of that thing at all.
It was rubbish.
It wasn't story. It was just look at this thing that we made and please be hyped.
It was. It really felt like let's get the general idea of the expansion, but this isn't really story related necessarily.
It didn't even have the full world map in it that it showed off.
Oh my god! Well, that only happened in Stormblond.
Stormblond.
Is that what it's called in Norway? Final Fantasy 14 Stormblond.
No, because they would never translate it into Norwegian.
Yeah, because we learned
English.
Because that's a sin.
Learn English.
Stormblond.
If it's not English, it's rubbish, guys.
Yes.
You heard it here first, apparently.
That's definitely like. I hope this is the future of trailers. Hey, I mean, if they want to make patch trailers like this, let's do it.
Soken was glad that there wasn't any shocking negative comments about the trailer.
Wow.
It looks like everyone on spot enjoyed it, and all went well. Soken was also uncertain whether using guitars in the trailer would be suitable instead of using classical style music.
Oh no, you got to get hyped.
I didn't notice the guitars.
Yeah, that's it's not like it's
when
not.
It all goes crazy.
No, it's there the whole time. Like the background.
Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
There's like a little there's like a little chugging going on. It's like a little
It didn't feel out of place though. It felt
it's fantastic.
Also,
I feel like why does Soken that's such a weird comment? Like, does he get negative feedback from all the others or something, or what?
I don't know.
Why would there be negative feedback?
He was in a weird. Different. Is it just me or was Soken in a weird mood throughout the whole?
He was in like a really
big mood,
rebellious mood.
Yeah,
he did feel like a bit like he's like, screw you, Dad.
Yeah.
But
stop giving me work.
I'm kind of confused because Soken, as far as I'm aware, just did the sound design for the trailer, right? Like he's the
he also does the voice trailer, right? In that trailer,
right? Yeah. But
not the singing. He's not the gremlin or whatever. That was someone else, wasn't it? Who was so embarrassed of doing the voice.
The other guy,
He was so embarrassed doing the voice. He did it at home.
But they had him on that thing like he was going to answer all these questions, and he's talking about how he is responding to the trailer. Like it seems kind of strange. Is he? Does he do more than I think he does? Maybe. I don't mean that to sound mean or anything, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like why are we like Soken? What do you think about the response to the trailer? It's like he just did the sound. He didn't he's not the director of the trailer,
and he only really answers questions about sound and music anyway.
Right.
So
he's a fun personality. He likes to.
He is, but not when he doesn't really have anything to say. Like when they brought him up for that panel and he didn't answer any questions. He had to ask himself questions. I am a little confused.
Don't hurt his feelings.
I don't mean it in a mean way because I absolutely love Soken.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorite people ever.
This one's interesting though. The teaser shown is just one part of the full movie, like a puzzle piece. The rest will be shown in subsequent fan fests. Does that mean we get 3 parts?
It's not like they were saying.
God, 3-part trailer.
Yeah, because I remember that. I think it's that somewhere else too. That's going to be 3-part trailer.
Okay, that could make sense actually. Because what if the first part is stuff we could see without any patch 4.5. The next one we could see after part 1, and then the third one after part 2. Yeah, I guess we could. That could work, right?
Yeah, and it's still going to show off like new areas too, and Garlemald.
Because traditionally they've shown the first half on the North American one and the rest on the European one, and they just show the full trailer again on the Japanese one.
Yeah, and usually like the first one is like a spoiler-free version of the trailer, and the second half is a spoiler-full version of the trailer. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Maybe this one is 3 parts because 4.55 will be included in the last part.
Possibly.
Who knows?
I hope that they announced that the expansion is actually split into 3 different storylines and 3 different zones.
Oh god, yeah, and it's like you just start storming Garlemald, but then they're like, the Prince of Radzat Han has lost his golden ring, and you have to go find his golden ring, and then like it's like.
Yeah,
Merwib is doing an expedition to the New World, and you go there. For a bit.
Wow, we're going all the places.
Fuck that!
Oh,
I want 6 storylines for each area.
Hell
That's
yeah!
what I want.
Hell yeah!
Credits to play after every area too.
I can't wait to see the full trailer though.
Yeah.
I mean, the teaser is 3 minutes long, so
if it's a 9-minute trailer, dog.
Oh
wow! They spent money.
End of an era, or whatever the other one's called, Flames of Truth.
Yeah, that one's about that length, isn't it? I don't know how long.
5 minutes. That was like 12.
It was quite long. I watched it this morning.
Huh?
Just for the
You just
really?
Oh, that's why you referenced Louis Soir this morning.
Yeah,
yeah, you did have some very profound.
It was just like random comments about Louis Soir.
I watched it and it came to me. Yeah, he's the only.
I want to refute what you said, because you said that Louis Soir did that alone. All he did was stand on that fucking rock after we did all the manual labor to get all the stuff he needed.
No, right? No, he didn't, because he went Super Saiyan and flew directly through a fiery ball of mega death. Why did he get all that
power? Because of all the stuff that we had laid out for him, so he could do the ritual.
We were just his crystals. We were
basically his crystals in a bit. Yeah,
but he summoned. He's the dope guy.
He did it. He did all
prayed.
The work.
Without us praying, he'd just be standing there with his dumb stick. He'd just be like, "Oh!" There'd be nothing would happen.
And Samadhi is now a dumb stick.
Yeah, it would be if it didn't have any power.
Warrior of Light didn't pray.
It'd just be a stick with like a like a horn?
Piece of marble on it or something, whatever it is.
This is so petty. Why?
I agree with Mayla. Louis Soir is the one true hero.
Lies. History is being
javelin Bahamut right through the face, or right through the chest, and kill him.
Hits him in the heart. It's like, blah.
Yeah, he does it like, you know.
He even missed his heart. He missed his heart.
Oh my god!
He couldn't even do it right.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just kidding. I love
so aggressive today.
I miss you.
If we swap places, he's the elitist now.
Yeah.
I am the elitist today. As shown, the main poster boy of the expansion this time will be Dark Knight. Yoshida made a slight mistake, as while the main point was that the Warrior of Light will become the Warrior of Darkness, he forgot to add that the Warrior of Light's main job has changed into Dark Knight. Famitsu added a small note saying that while Yoshida said in the interview that the Warrior of Light's main job changes to Dark Knight, on context-wise, it's more of the main job for the Warrior of Darkness.
It's quite a big thing to miss out.
Yeah,
I hope they call us the Dark Knight of Darkness.
Oh hell yeah, that's so edgy.
I want the edge to just drip.
Oh god, yeah.
I want to be the Black Swordsman. Make me that.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Hollow Knight
of
death.
Yeah, XXX.
I want
the the middle X is a capital, but the other X is lowercase.
Hell yeah.
Can we? Oh, that's a good name for this expansion.
The sword better be called
XXX Shadowbringers. XXX. That's so sick, dude.
The way Yoshida announces info for keynotes was also changed in order to ensure the announcement is not as typical as the ones they did before. However, considering the expansion development is still ongoing, the materials they can show is still very limited. So obtaining the balance between what they can or cannot announce was considered. He's glad that he managed to get a lot of new info announced for the first FanFest of Shadowbringers so far, which is true. A lot of more information than I expected from the North American one. Previous North American FanFest was very barren, to say the least.
I feel like he's talking about like, oh, we can't reveal too much. But saying we become the Warriors of Darkness is a huge plot point.
It is.
To just drop on us.
Yeah,
no one would have predicted that.
Yeah.
Really?
That's true.
So he's kind of spoiled the game for me, to be honest, and I'm gonna quit. Cause I know what's gonna happen now. Yeah. Goodbye.
Square Enix's CEO's appearance. Oh, this is a shocker for everyone, by the way. Square Enix's CEO appearance during the Blue Mage announcement was also planned.
No,
I thought he was doing it as a joke.
Oh no!
I thought he had trolled Yoshida on stage live without any warning.
Oh my god!
It'd have been even better if he fired him.
I want to fight him in game.
Yeah,
I mean, do it in 15.
Yeah, that's
you can
true.
do it in here.
That's true.
I want to fight him IRL.
Okay.
Yeah, that too.
The announcement of Blue Mage was meant to be used for the keynote's climax as well. All the upcoming releases that's meant for patch 4.4 and 4.5 has been planned for a long time ago. So Yoshida was glad that he made it to the schedule. Okay. Yokozawa got better responses than he expected with the announcement of Blue Mage, and he enjoyed it lots, though he wasn't nervous about it. Is that Mr. Atma?
No, that's
no,
isn't it?
Oh, that is this. Oh yeah, of course. Mr. Atma made Blue Mage, though.
Yeah.
Which we must not forget.
Yeah.
It's nice to have someone to blame, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy who has almost nothing positive under his resume.
It is kind of weird. I mean,
I made all the grindy, horrible systems that no one liked.
Honestly, I just feel really bad.
I feel bad.
Didn't they say
I
that
just feel
like
really bad?
he didn't want like a public appearance either, like a while ago?
And they pushed him.
And Yoshi-P was like, "We need someone to push all this shit on. It's gonna be you."
That's what it felt like. It literally felt like a scapegoat. I don't know. It just makes you feel really uncomfortable and bad.
Yeah. Oh, is Yokozawa Mr. Atma?
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
well,
because the CEO is.
Oh yeah, Matsuda. That's right. Yeah, of course.
There will be no info for Shadowbringers until the next FanFest. However, a lot of hints will be hidden in patch 4.5.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay.
I love this next line. This is the line we talked about before we went live.
Yeah.
Yoshida thinks of Yokozawa as a chuny to the core.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Only Roller knew what
We're gonna explain it because I had to explain it to them. A chuny is like a Japanese word. It's like, you know, when you're a kid and like you pretend to have like superpowers, you're like, yes, I have the power of darkness and this stick is my epic weapon. Imagine that, but you keep doing that as an adult or through high school.
I have the power of God and anime on my side. That kid.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. But they take it seriously.
What a compliment.
Seriously, that sounds like
saying he's on a spectrum.
Sounds like he might have like. That's not a healthy thing to think.
I mean, he's saying it jokingly, but
when we looked up,
I think this guy's a weirdo who thinks he just got superpowers.
But when we looked it up online, didn't it say it was a derogatory term?
It's a derogatory term.
Yeah.
So
it's like a joke.
Was so
that's
mean.
That's like me being like, "Oh, Rolo, you're so schizophrenic. It's so adorable."
Yeah.
Like, that's not a compliment or in any way. It's a bad thing.
It's like if you called me a weeaboo like that, but like in a jokey way.
Okay.
Yeah, he says to the core now.
He says to the core, which is pretty deep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy we scapegoat is a weirdo. I hate him.
Okay, let's not dwell too much on that. Yokozawa then followed by saying his chuny wasn't a face he'd put on the surface, so the content that was shared during the dev panel was not something he would do in his office. But considering it's something he has to put... But considering it's something he has to put it out, he did.
What does that mean?
It doesn't make any sense.
Of course, his personal thoughts on his own hijinks normally wasn't displayed in public. So to Yoshida, Titan is pseudo is
What?
Is something not known to Yoshida. Yokozawa reaffirms that yes, he did create the Titan face with that idea in mind.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
Rollo, our resident weeaboo? What does...
Hold on.
What does Titan is pseudo mean? Also, the fact that he's gone this deep into it means that this Mr. Amma actually is the sort of guy who runs Naruto around the office. Probably hangs out with the Chocobo guy, and they sit in the cafeteria just themselves, and they're like, have you got any Chocobo race ideas? Like, no.
And that's that.
Wow.
Anyways, let's move on to some controversy. So, Rock Papier.
You are having a rough day today, huh?
It's not my day. Rock Paper Shotgun. Like a lot of gaming journalists, got a trip paid for by Square Enix to go down there and cover the event.
Lucky them.
Lucky them, you would say. And you
Not
would also think,
thing, by the way.
What?
Not an uncommon thing, by the way.
Not an uncommon thing. Very normal.
No, of course.
And
I'm waiting for mine.
Yeah, whatever.
And
no, of course not.
Let's not. Okay.
Didn't say anything.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in MogMail. So I've lost my. Okay, yeah. So you'd think that RPS would send a journalist that had some knowledge, at least, about the game that's being covered on this fan fest, which, I mean, the whole convention is about Final Fantasy XIV. However, such is not the case. This journalist, big quotes, went down to this all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas with one goal in mind, it seems, to mock and ridicule the Final Fantasy XIV community. He quite famously wasted his Q&A question by asking for erotic roleplay about player-driven brothels, I believe, which I'm sure it's the only thing he knows about 14 was that article written by Kotaku like a year ago. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That's probably all the knowledge he had about 14 before going down there. And then when you read the article, everything is poisonous. Like, he's like, you read every line and it's written in such a snarky, like, aggressive way. It's literally a hit piece. It's like,
well, and that's the thing is, like, I kind of knew back when that Kotaku article came out, and because it picked up the most journalism buzz that any article about 14 had in since the reboot of A Realm Reborn, basically. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's terrible, by the way, because now that's the only thing uninformed people are gonna go, oh, that's the game where people fuck each other, anime characters fuck each other, right? Like, that's literally what people think.
Which is only a half truth.
You search up Final Fantasy 14 on Google, just Final Fantasy 14. A lot of the results are not good.
True.
And it's like, because that's what it gets pigeonholed, and it's just making it worse now.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Why is gaming journalism trying to fight the people making the games? It's so strange.
It's so strange. But I have to say one thing. So some would say, but you can't expect everyone to be positive. That's one thing. But you at least have to expect that the journalist you send have some knowledge about and doesn't have like a fucking agenda like this dude had. Like,
hey, do you know what they don't? Do you know what's strange? You know what they don't do? Say, you guys like football over there, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to know who they don't send to a football game? Somebody who likes fucking ice hockey, who reports on ice hockey. Because that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody who knows about MMOs. Maybe somebody who's even played the game. What?
We'll talk about the article, Camilla, so the other one in a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just read the beginning here, so you know, just feel the tension in this article. By the way, I'm reading this from an archived source, so they don't get any clicks.
Yeah, don't give them anything for this.
Right.
Give them hate. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. So the headline goes, okay, and you can just like, this whole article is just, some of it's just like read between the lines, and it's so obvious. What a giant catfish taught me about happiness at Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival. If you notice, says the catfish, everyone is smiling around me. It's true. This huge fish person has been waddling through crowds of people who grin even as they duck under the beast's massive barbels. Several people are taking photographs. I peer into the gaping mouth of the fish. Two human hands suddenly lurch out, gripping onto the creature's lips from the inside. You can already tell that this is not a positive article.
I get that word count.
Yeah, gotta fail as much time about not talking about video games as much as you can.
Amanamasu, says Missy Allen, the 32-year-old woman in the costume. It's a giant catfish, and they're generally really dumb looking, and I love them. I thought it would bring a lot of happiness. When I suggest that it's also slightly terrifying, Missy is unfazed. That's part of their joy. And if you're a 14 player, you get the joke, because that's, you know, that they are creepy creatures.
Yeah.
She stretches her hand out of the mouth to offer a parting handshake, her human limb appearing from the maw of this googly-eyed creature.
Disgusting
like a
creature.
This 32-year-old woman in this grotesque display out of the limbs coming out of the...
I can't even deal with this shit, dude.
So dumb.
What a fucking asshole.
Oh, he sucks. Okay.
I'm an asshole, and I'm saying this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Holy.
And then he continues with this. This is the kind of unsettling wonder you may witness at the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival, a convention for the monster killers of the 8-year-old MMO Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. I also love that he's actually calling it the 8-year-old, so he's even counting in 1.0 here.
He probably just Googled.
He Googled. He looked at like a screenshot and saw the copyright at the bottom right.
Yeah.
A get-together hosting thousands of players, although the passes around their necks insisted they be called adventurers.
Ugh,
fucking grow up. You can just feel it in this is what this is exactly what he's thinking. The online universe that unites these fans is like many others. You explore huge maps, go on world-saving quests, and band together to raid dungeons for loot. You dance around cones and circles projected on the floor to avoid damage. A screen busier than an Amazon warehouse staffed by bees.
Wow.
What a beautiful imagery, dude.
Who the
The story is drenched.
Has this guy played an MMO before? Has he literally never seen what an MMO is?
Dude, it gets better. The story is drenched in the cheery anime tropes fans have come to expect from the series. But this installment also acts as a vortex for Final Fantasy paraphernalia. Bits and pieces of the other worlds bleed into it. Kefka, the scary clown from Final Fantasy VI, the scary clown, shows up for a fight. You can play Triple Triad, the card game enjoyed by Squall and pals in Final Fantasy VIII. You can gamble in the gold... I'm surprised they actually wrote that correctly. In the Gold Saucer, a theme park from Final Fantasy VII. This last crossover is thematically appropriate, because this year's FanFest is happening in Las Vegas.
What a connection to make.
Aside from having an overwhelmingly... alliterative name. The Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival. He's written 14. He's written it out.
But that helps with the alliteration.
Oh, okay.
He needs that word count. Remember?
That's true. That's true.
No, because it works.
Okay, whatever. Is equal parts. Is equal parts adorably nerdy and fetishistic, huh? And
Jesus.
Fetishistic cat ears. A convention of Moogles and magic. Cosplayers strut around like foam peacocks. A spiky dragoon, a vampiric elf, a moon goddess.
That's the same with any convention.
Okay, hold up. Does he hate video games?
Yes.
It sounds like he's never been to a con.
I don't think he's ever been to anything with video games ever. Because, dude, hate to break it to this guy, but believe it or not, if you go to like E3, there's actually like not anime stuff. There's like actually like Master Chiefs and stuff dressed up in full costumes. Like it's like crazy, dude.
No, they're foam peacocks.
Foam peacock.
Disgusting creatures.
Is this man?
They're unnatural. They need to grow up, Yaz.
Was he born yesterday?
Don't know.
Like genuinely, did they pull this guy out of a creative writing class for fucking 12-year-olds and say, "Hey, write about video games"? He's like, "What's a video game?" They're like, "I don't know, make it up."
Yeah.
Like, has it like?
I know it's very.
I am.
It's
mind blasted that this human being has a job in games journalism.
I mean, yeah.
He does have later on in the article. He does have my favorite English sentence ever made. There, yeah. So just prepare for that.
Okay.
It's very good.
The main hall is a pit of noise and color. There's a giant cactuar. There's an art exhibition. There's a stage for hosting presentations from the game's creators, and of course, there's a Chocobo racing game.
Of course.
So that's, the most neutral part here. He's just observing. In the very middle of the hall, surrounded by fans, there's also a long wall where players scribble their names. Here, for 2 days, a monk and a samurai, who fight side by side in a free company, a player group, like a clan or a guild, might see each other for the first time. But the big deal of the weekend is the announcement of a new expansion called Shadowbringers. The main hall fills for the showing of a new trailer. Afterwards, director and producer Naoki Yoshida arrives on stage, soon joined by localization chief Michael Christopher Koji Fox acting as translator. Yoshida is...
Can I just confirm, is Koji actually part of his name, or is it a fan?
It is, yeah. Did you
so
remember
why
the
has he put
story?
it in quotation marks?
No, it's not. It's a nickname.
Is it just a nickname?
Yeah, it's just a nickname.
Did his parents give him a Japanese name?
No, his parents gave him a Japanese name.
His name is Michael Christopher.
Oh.
I'm pretty
Fox.
sure during the
it's in the credits. It's just Michael Christopher Fox.
Okay.
I believe it's his middle name because his parents or his dad wanted him to have a Japanese name, but his parents didn't want him to.
Why is it always? I feel like I've seen it in quotations a lot though.
It is his name.
Well, if it's his real name, it's very insulting to put it in quotations.
I think Koji Fox together is
the Koji Fox is his nickname. but Koji is actually his name.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that answers. Thank you.
But yeah, he's put Koji in quotation marks.
Okay.
Yoshida
that was the no-clip thing.
Yoshida is a smiling stage presence with a straightened fringe and fingers coated in metallic rings. Now that is pretty
coated in metallic rings.
Yeah, they are coated in metallic.
Saying he's wearing rings.
He did it does look like at times that he dipped his fingers. And just pulled them out.
Yeah,
with them dry.
Genius.
The fans know him as Yoshi-P, and there is applause between every small declaration he makes.
Oh, they're so angry at this part.
Yeah. At one point, the crowd starts chanting Yoshi-P, Yoshi-P, Yoshi-P until he redirects the praise to the dev team and the chanting mutuates. Dev team, dev team, dev team. Need to get the word count up. It's the kind of audience so charged with unbridled fanaticism that it will erupt into oh my god, what's the word? Cacophonous applause at some nice box art.
Interesting. He must have not seen the deafening silence in some of these parts.
Yeah,
because that's not true. But there was a lot of.
But I love that he just he's
course.
just like brushing it under the rug, like they'll just go crazy over some nice box art. What did he expect people to do? Just sit there and be like, cool.
He's saying that you should only get excited for what he thinks is exciting.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what he's saying.
Which is like
is he going, I don't care about that, so you're an idiot for caring about it. Exactly.
Yoshida goes through the upcoming features of the expansion. There will be user-controlled farms. There will be dwarves and pixies, an exciting server redistribution. At this, an unsettled murmur grips the crowd.
This is my favorite sentence.
There will be dungeons and forests and towns and houses.
What is that? It's like he's never played. There'll be dungeons and forests and towns.
I sure paid attention during this.
I'm telling you, this guy doesn't know what a video game is. He had a 5-minute seminar. Somebody literally went, okay, I'm going to give you the crash course. We got 15 minutes before you get there. Here's what a video game is. And he just tried to explain this fast as he possibly could.
Forests and houses and stuff.
Right, and that's what he said. And that was one of the descriptions. He's like, well, you would be like forests and towns.
Imagine if on the keynote presentation, there will be new forests.
I wish I could tell this guy not to quit his day job, but sadly, this is his day job.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, no, maybe quit your day job. Wait, never mind, quit your day job.
Get out of it.
Yeah, actually, do that. Okay, I'm gonna jump a little bit because, okay. They're putting on a show. I'll jump down to that piece. They're putting on a show as much as making an announcement. At one point, the president and CEO of Square Enix, Yosuke Matsuda, comes on stage to gasps and cheers, dressed in a blue cape, wielding a major staff. I love that he has to put gasp and cheer, because we're like, this is like some weird zoo that he's on. He's observing this weird, yeah.
He's on safari.
Yeah. A jolly sketch ensues between the Japanese developers, one of them playing an interfering CEO, the other a tight-lipped manager. The whole thing is like a pantomime. Did Matsuda just announce a new Blue Mage class? Oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did. And then that's that. It's a grand show. This is the best part. It's a grand show designed to tickle the emotions of exactly the kind of person who is willing to fly to Las Vegas and dress up as a moon goddess.
That sort of person.
Is this okay? Is that not the concept of E3?
No, apparently
not. Is that not the concept of announcing any game ever? What does he think that? Okay, I got a game. I'm gonna announce my game to you guys. I'm gonna do it so nobody gets excited because that's cheap. Basically what he's saying is if you put on any theatrics when you announce your game, that's fake. That's cheap. You're just taking advantage of people. Is that what he's trying to say? Like, it doesn't make sense, man. Fans are a thing.
It also,
I know this guy definitely doesn't have any fans, but like fans are a thing and people do care about stuff.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you make things exciting?
I really want to know what games he likes.
Christmas. This guy hates Christmas, dude.
Oh, for sure.
What does he play? What he writes for a gaming magazine? What does he actually play?
I don't.
I need to know what games he likes.
I don't think he plays video games, dude.
FIFA, I feel like he's just like one of those. No, maybe not even that. I don't know.
I think he's too endowed with his own ability to write.
Yeah.
I think he's just like, did you see the way I wrote that?
Did you see how many times I said "and" in that one sentence?
Okay, we have to get through this. So quickly, I'll jump a little further. He talks about what happened to 1.0, which is more or less accurate. Then he goes to, today there are healthy player numbers, says Square Enix. Although the recent boast of 14 million players is as misleading as any studio's big number since it includes trial accounts and inactive ones. Join an indeterminate number of people spread across 66 servers probably doesn't cut it with the advertising department. What is that? What kind of jab is that? What's that supposed to mean?
I think most people know that, but still, that's a bit weird.
What a weird thing to put in your article about the... I don't know. He's trying to imply that the game isn't doing well.
Can you imagine paying for someone? It's not a cheap flight, I imagine, to Las Vegas, and then putting them up for a whole weekend for them to write this.
Don't think. Yeah, go on.
Do you know what I think this honestly is? I think why this article exists.
Why?
Genuinely, is I think that they went, we don't know anything about this game. We don't have anybody on our staff that plays this game. And they just didn't know what to do because they're like, this is clearly an event that we could use it for something, like use it for some media buzz. I think they literally just sent someone to be like, okay, well then just make some controversy then because we don't actually know what's going on.
Pay for me to go to Las Vegas.
But I think that's truly what it was. Is they're just like,
just kidding.
Let's make a stink because we don't know what else to do. We have nothing interesting to say about this game.
I'm just wondering how the editor let this one through is all.
It's also such a.
He probably didn't read it.
This isn't the first rock paper shotgun article that's like this.
Okay, I'll do the end of this article. With the concert finished, the fan fest is over, and the cat ears must be put away for another year. Final Fantasy XIV is probably not the MMO for me. But there's more happening in the world of Eorzea than I could have imagined. The worship of dead NPCs, the housing problems, the strangers cyber-rutting in the corners of fantasy taverns. Yet alongside all that intricacy and intimacy is a game that demands the love of holy knights, barbarians, and even catfish. When I think of Final Fantasy XIV from now on, I'll remember the Namazu. It's big. It's slightly unsettling, and I don't really understand it, but it makes a lot of people smile. And then it ends with this beautiful cursive text. Disclosure, Square Enix paid for this trip.
God.
I can't figure it out. Why is printed media dying? Like, why is games... why are they dying? I don't understand why this stuff isn't working as well as it used to. I just don't understand.
Because no one makes demos anymore, yes.
Well, so here's the thing. Is like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the 10 instant clicks and then lose all of your fucking reputability right after that immediately? Or would you like to slow and steady burn, right? Most of these companies take the first.
It is pretty bad.
I think you can write an article about something you don't know about, like Game Informer did.
Which we're going to talk about right now. Because we are. Game Informer made an article. And it's the same sort of situation where the journalist is unaware, like he's not into the game, but he does. You have to read that article. But
he doesn't look at everyone else like trash scum.
Yeah, it's actually a really
human limb comes out of the mouth like vomit. It's trying to shake my hand. I slapped it away and said, "Bitch, get out of here."
So
I ain't touching no chuny.
While Rock Paper Scissors RPS's article had the headline, "What a giant catfish taught me about happiness at Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival."
And then said nothing about happiness, just spewed negativity.
Game Informer's headline is "Discovering Why Final Fantasy XIV Matters to Its Fans." It's a really good article, so make sure you read that one. It's really long, and it shows it has
It shows them having fun.
Yes, and he's trying to understand it. And by the end, I'm going to read the end quote of this. So you now remember how the RPS article ended, which was horrific. Here's how the Game Informer journalist ended it. As someone who does not play Final Fantasy XIV but owns an account I've been sitting on, I went into the FanFest trying to understand what it is that draws people to this game specifically over any of the other MMORPGs, or even non-MMORPGs, MMORPG options out there. I'm still not sure, but that's not for a lack of reason given to me. I'm not sure because it sounds like it's something you gain through the act of playing the game and meeting people and going on adventures yourself, or bringing the people important in your life into the fantasy world with you. It's something about the right community at the right time, which isn't something you can put as a bullet point on the back of a box. Or as someone once told me, It's about stories being very powerful, which is a direct quote from
It's a
Yoshi-P.
nice way of.
It's very nice.
That's really nice.
Some players too, and they,
It's like it's almost like he went in just not thinking he was above everyone and an open mind. Yeah, yeah, weird, and like actually just put in an attempt to understand, and seemingly understands the concept of what fans like. He uses the word community, understanding that that's a thing that exists. Whereas the other guy had no conception of why these people are together in the same room. He's like, they're just corralled in a room wearing paper mache helmets to look like dumb characters that everybody hates.
Yeah. And they all lust for each other. They all they're there to bang.
And have you seen what they do when they like? I haven't even talked about instead of dodging cones or whatever he said. They also just have hot anime sex all day. Like that's the game. It's cones and hot anime sex. That's Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And Amazonian AI or whatever the hell he said.
Yeah.
It cluttered like the Amazon jungle or some shit.
He said like Amazon warehouse staffed by bees.
Oh, is that what he said? It was the jungle? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was.
Hey, buddy, it's just write a book, man. Write a book.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Just quit your job and go write a book about something happy. Escape from your day-to-day.
I don't think he can write about anything happy. I think his heart is just empty. He's just an empty man.
Yeah. Probably
true. Bad article. Don't give it clicks, guys.
I mean,
don't give him the clicks.
The RPS article, actually, I felt for the first time, I got a little offended by that. Like,
oh no, I was definitely triggered by that.
Very disrespectful.
It's not. It's just because it's like it's so demeaning.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly demeaning.
Yeah. Well, we know for sure that's not going to repeat itself because I don't think Square Enix is going to give a press pass to RPS in a very long time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hopefully not.
To explain that one.
Yeah, good luck explaining that to your editor, dude.
And that's what I don't understand when it's like they'll be like, well, we can get these clicks because no doubt this article's getting more clicks than it would have if they had wrote a normal article. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. 100% definitely.
Yeah.
But you're destroying your credibility on the exact. It's not worth it, man. It's really not worth it.
Yeah. Right. I guess we'll do MogMail now.
MogMail.
Let's do the fun one.
Which is the fun one? Oh, you want the one with?
Yeah.
We might want to save that for the post show then, maybe. The one you're talking. Number 3, is that the one you're referring to?
Let me see.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it's number 3.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we'll save that for the post show. Right. Let's take the first one. From Miles Sainsborough from Balmung.
Hi, Miles.
Hey, Miles.
Hello.
You're on our Discord. Speakers of Eidolon has been going strong for a number of years, and you guys earned it. Working on the show for a number of years and talking about various subjects. Do you guys feel popular or have an influence amongst 14 fans in some way? What would you say is your favorite part of doing this kind of podcast every week? What a question.
I mean, definitely don't feel popular.
No.
Yeah, we don't have a big influence.
No.
We're very small fry.
We're niche.
We definitely don't have an influence on the community
niche.
either.
No.
Or maybe we are, we just don't know.
No, we're not.
We're super small.
We're super small.
I don't think there's like this huge cell of people that are like, we love them, we just haven't told them yet.
Yeah. We watch them, but we don't
love
tell
them.
them.
I don't want to subscribe because I'm just nervous.
But
what's your favorite part of the show?
I tried to think of.
I'm trying to think of what I actually like about this.
I love just I love all the shit that's unrelated that we shouldn't be doing. Every time an episode gets ruined, I love it so much.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I love derailing it.
I like the sort
I love the improv parts of it. I guess I like the discussion. I like hanging out. Hanging out.
Hanging out is that's
yeah.
I like that it's not super formal, and when things go wrong, it's not like we gotta sort this. It's like it is just 4 people talking.
Yeah. It is.
I like seeing the chat though. I like seeing
hanging out with
you guys
chat
talk.
Is fun,
and I like reading the comments too, even if you guys are mean to me.
Oh wow!
No one's
people
mean
know.
To you, Rollo.
No, and you never see. When you write a mean comment, the person that's supposed to see it never sees it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Rollo is being baby.
Yeah. this is just. It's like I thought about it when I got the question the first time. I thought, wow, what? I don't even know. I've done this like every Saturday for like more or less almost 4 years. Is it 4 years this year?
It's been ages.
2014?
Yeah. It's
well,
like
it hasn't been every Saturday since then.
Yeah, the first 2 years.
But most.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. There was a big gap in 2015.
Gap, yeah.
But yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have about 1,200 episodes.
Oh, imagine how many episodes.
Oh, no, you have to like.
It'd be on, like,
yeah, I was gonna say
500. Yeah.
It's busy 2 weeks a year, guys.
Yeah, 200.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know that.
How long?
You know what? I thought we had like an episode every
7,000,
day.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to episode 19,412.
Yeah. No, it's just become a part of life now.
Yeah.
It's
I
nice.
think about all the time I'm missing out on.
What time?
This
Playing
is
Euro
nonsense.
Truck Simulator? Is that what you?
Yeah, well, it's yeah.
Well, he's
Mila bought a
awesome,
steering wheel.
This is
Did
not...
you really, Mela?
Hey, yeah, because it was on.
Cold
it was
yeah,
on
dude.
Friday.
There you
That's
go.
gonna be fun.
You got
It
pedals
is
and
fun.
stuff too. You got
Yeah.
pedals.
It came with the pedals, yeah.
I mean,
You don't know how fun it is when the truck like bounces over a curb or something. The whole,
I love
whole
how.
thing shakes.
By the way, Rolo, I love how earlier, like literally 45 minutes ago, you're like, "Don't you drive?" And he's like, "No, I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive." And he buys a fucking steering wheel to drive in a video game.
Mail knows how to
What the hell, dude?
trucking simulator, dude.
That makes no sense.
I bought it and I was like,
Mail's like, dude, have you ever heard of this game? It's called driving. Holy shit. You can't do it without buying a steering wheel game.
That's why Europeans like that game, because they can learn how to drive.
Yeah.
You have
I
to
have
use
learned how
it
to
to
drive.
drive.
I've improved quite a lot already.
Guys, the new simulators, man.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to the second
Thank you for the question.
mail. Thank you, Miles, for the question. I hope we answered it. I just love everything about it. That's my answer. Next question. Why? Nefarious Windfall from Midgard's Armor. Hello, speakers. Thank you so much for the wonderful oversight you guys bring to us every week on everything Final Fantasy XIV. My question is to Luke Heel, considering his personal White Mage experience. With the new expansion focusing mainly on us turning from light to darkness and the focus the trailer had on Amdapori references, Kuribu, and the Winged Lion, do you think there will be direct main scenario references from here on for other cultures and classes, such as Black Mage with Mach or Scholar with Nim? The lore bar has been set high. It has been set pretty high. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna hear about Amdapor at least in
And
this.
then that kind of basically means you're automatically going to hear about Mach if you hear about Amdapor.
Yeah.
Like, they're
because they're
one and
like
the same. Well, not
yeah.
one and the same, but
They're
usually meant
their
together.
fates are
Yeah.
intertwined.
for sure.
I'm stroking out today. Yeah, yeah.
What has this got to do with White Mage?
That's where Amdapor basically invented White Mage.
Yeah.
Mail's like,
Yeah.
wait, where does Black Mage come
Mail's
from?
just like, she does not, she, I just called you a she.
Oh my God.
Maila just doesn't give a fuck
Well,
about
the
other
secrets
classes.
are now.
It's out. It's out.
Hey,
Well,
boys!
Wow. Gee.
But the
That,
question is,
let's
do you
just-
think the
let's
direct
just-
main scenario will focus on Black Mage?
I don't think so. Do you?
I don't think that's what is that what he's saying?
The question literally says, do you think there will be a direct
for
main
other
scenario
cultures,
from here
but
on for other cultures,
yeah.
classes such as Black Mage?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he could mean that.
But
I
this
think
has
you're,
nothing to do with
I
White
think
Mage.
it'll be more about.
you're taking it too
Mach.
literally, Mela, because technically Heaven's Word was connected to class lore. Like,
Yeah.
Estinian was a quest NPC for those job quests ahead of time.
Yeah.
I think they mean it like that, where it's like it's not about the job, it's just tied to the things that the job quests are about, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
I mean, they have to at least dive. I mean, it's the most obvious thing that it's also stated in here is that you can't really have an expansion about Light and Amdapor without mentioning at least White Mage. White Mages must be
Yeah.
involved in this in some way. Like,
Right.
it's the
But at the same
birthplace
time-
of white magic.
Technically, white magic isn't really like this is where it gets
Yeah.
I'm so confused about this expansion because white magic doesn't have anything to do with the light. You can be an evil white mage.
That's true.
You can 100% be an evil white mage. You can be. We are good black mages. Like we are not evil.
But I think
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think this good and evil thing doesn't apply either. Well,
it kind of does because sowing chaos.
Are you saying a warrior of darkness is evil?
No, not really. But they're fighting for that side of things.
Yeah,
they're fighting for the side of chaos, which is destruction, which would be something we would consider more likely to be evil than somebody who's helping. Right? And you can be we're warriors of light that use black magic. So the Mach and Amdapori thing seems to be, in my opinion, more symbolic than it is actually tied to the lore of light and darkness. I don't think Amdapori and Mach were really just Zodiark and Highland fighting. Maybe it was. I mean, that's just
that
the
would
lore
be
we haven't
super
uncovered
cool.
yet. But I don't think that was why they were fighting, right?
No, they were just angry at each other.
Yeah, they just went overboard with black and white magic.
They basically saw the other side getting stronger and thought, well, I have to get stronger, and then it all just broke out.
Yeah, it's like a Cold War that went...
Whereas this expansion, we're realizing that there's a balance here rather than us just fighting blindly for the light.
Yes.
But it's nothing to do with being a white mage or a black mage.
No. That's not what we're saying, and what the question was either. It was just, are we going to dive more into the story behind the classes? Are we going to learn more? Because if this is going to be an Amdapori rich... I don't know if it's gonna be Amdapori rich.
I'm super confused. Because how much are we gonna be? Are we gonna be spending this expansion in the Shroud?
Yeah,
that's weird. It's a bit weird.
Oh god, I have to mention this. I've been looking at that trailer I am sorry. I am done with that trailer now. I can't watch the trailer anymore. I think I'm going mad. But I have been trying to figure out those fucking lights, those lamps in that. Where I've still been doing that part. You know those cluster chandeliers at the entrance? They're the same ones from the 1.0 Adventurers Guild for Limsa.
Oh my god.
And the round ones are from Limsa. So the lights are Luminson, but everything else looks like fucking Ulda or Halatali.
Dude, I bet he's in post-calamity Limsa right there. That's a new theory.
That doesn't make any sense. But also,
when
they run up the stairs, there's a fucking blue burning thing.
They're running up.
I thought it was Pharos Polaris at first.
They are,
because they say that the Void Bomb is. This is also, of course, tied into that I'm doing recordings for Remnants of a Realm for Limsa. But they say that there's a Void Bomb in a cage that they lift up and torture every night so that it will light up the sky. Looks like it's just been lowered. But then they go into the other room and it looks nothing like a Luminson area. So it's...
That's because they tricked you with the editing in the video.
Yeah, you don't see it, but I have a wall full of like pictures that I've lined through with
a corkboard.
Yeah, I have
just going insane.
Yeah.
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah. But it'll be nice to know when the next, hopefully the next trailer will show us, maybe even 4.5. Right. We still have 10 minutes left. I don't want to do this question.
Not Sirius, Polaris.
Polaris, yeah. Pharos Polaris is in... You'll see in the next episode of Remnants of a Realm. Oh, I didn't mention that. That's going to be out next week, so look forward to that. It's part 2. We'll look at Pharos Polaris. Okay. Among other things. Right. That's sort of the end of the questions. Except for that last one, which I think will it ties into the RPS thing, but also the drama on Twitter. But I don't want to put that in the main show because I don't want us to become like a drama channel.
We're drama alert now, baby.
Yeah. Any questions from chat? I guess we can grab a question from chat to fill the last 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, minimum level.
Oh god, right. Yeah. Are we doing that again? Because we didn't do that.
Well, we didn't do it last week because for obvious reasons. It's only been a week without it, Mala.
It feels like it's been ages.
I know. Okay, I don't know what dungeons are left, but let's have a look-see.
I sended one mail when you checked.
Oh, we're going to Doma Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Castello. Okay, I've not been there for ages. That's cool.
I love the little sitar at the start or whatever. Like
That's level 65?
67, isn't it?
Is that the
69?
Wheel of Doom.
Oh, 65 is Bardom's.
Can't believe we're going to Doma.
Doma.
You must venture into Dorma Castle.
Oh boy, baby boy.
No.
Oh baby boy.
Anna's Karstus. That's
I'm gonna
all
ignore
you.
this because this is garbage.
How dare you, Anna's banana?
You should splice in your sound clip of you saying click and add that to the toggle noise.
But it's weird because it's supposed to make sound. No job, Crystal. I don't know what's happening.
White mages draw it from around them.
Yeah.
Black mages draw it from the void.
Yeah.
Conjurers draw it from, I don't know.
Their balls.
Thaumaturges draw it from themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Red mages use their sword to collect it.
That's something like the crystally thing.
Yeah, they use they suck it in from, I think it'd be environment as well.
Yeah.
They suck it in through the environment and put it at the edge of their sword and then stab it.
Yeah.
Such an erotic class. Let's contact RPS. They can write a piece about it.
Write about how sexy we all are.
Yeah.
How about that?
Sisyphu, we definitely do draw from the void, right? Like 100%. That's why we talk to Lilith and you do the Queen of Mock stuff. There's a lot of. I'm pretty sure the void is definitely a black mage thing.
Yeah.
So the red mages do. Okay, so there's like an amplifier type thing.
Oh, sorry, Kurt. I actually found your MogMail. It was lost between all the ones we got for FanFest. We can take Kurt's from Captain Claw, Kurt Hectic. Brynhilder Ragnarok. Speakers, if you can ask one question to Yoshida FanFest style, what would be your question? Keep up the great work. Although FanFest is over, is there anything we would ask him now? Any questions we have left?
Yes. I would ask him, are you gonna fucking level sync us again for everything? Are you gonna do that again? Am I gonna have a level 80 rotation, level 70 rotation, a 60, 50?
Hey, it's more tomes, mate.
I don't mind doing it.
No, it's not. That's not what he's saying, man.
I think it's saying that you can still everyone wants a system where you can still use your level 80 skill. Well, future level 80 skills.
Oh, right.
I don't mind doing Satasha. I just hate that I have two fucking skills.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's a good question. I would, of course, ask the one we talked about, the Ishgard one. Is that a community one, or is it... But we kind of know that now, but I would like confirmation on it, if it's like a single... It sounds too ambitious to be just a community thing, too. Sounds like it wouldn't work. Yeah, that's
you guys going to Europe Fan Fest, ask these questions for us.
Don't ask the one I ask, because that feels like a wasted question. We kind of already get.
That's my question.
Ask Rollo's question. That's much better.
Be very angry about it.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions, Mala?
What? For Yoshi-P?
I got
Who does your hair, I guess? Do you do it yourself?
Oh, is you asking Yoshida about his hair?
Yeah, because
this
it's
is
always
just as bad as the RPS one.
God, that sounds like.
And then if he's like, if he doesn't want to answer, no, tell me who does your hair. I'm not leaving.
I want to know how much Eureka is going to be in 5.0.
I hope it's going to be we're no longer going to have dungeons. It's just Eureka now. Eureka roulette.
Oh. No, we have dungeons, but you can only do them with trusts.
Yeah.
The other stuff is
wow.
Yeah.
Introducing a Eureka roulette, which will replace the expert roulette.
Don't say these things.
I mean,
when can we log out in our house and then log back in our house?
That's a good one.
I can log out of someone else's server, but not in my own house.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
You can never sleep in your own bed and log out in your own bed.
That's a fair point, yeah.
That's really annoying.
Do you still get enhanced rested XP from it, or did they get rid of that?
You don't get.
You do an ins.
You only get normal rested.
You get more though than usual.
Not in your house bed, no.
But in the in room.
In the in room, yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, do you get more? I thought they removed that when they did the.
Did they?
You still get rested EXP, but you don't get.
I used to always log out.
Yeah,
in
but
room.
back in the day, you could only get rested EXP in your in room.
I thought there was still a bonus.
Well, I'd ask him that then.
Yeah, maybe ask Yoshi-P that. I don't think there is. Yeah,
is it just the whole city now?
Yeah, but everywhere, all sanctuaries give you rested.
I could have sworn the in god gave you more.
So it went like this: first there was none, then there was the in room. Then there were the city state, and then they expanded it to all all camps with Aetherites.
Anything near Crystal, yeah.
Right. I
mean, I know that. I know that. I know that. We know how it works. We're asking if there's more in the inn, not if it only exists in the inn.
You don't know.
I've been going to the inn for 3 years.
Yeah, no, obviously we know that.
You don't get extra. Right, we'll wrap it up with that. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Speakers of Idlin, episode 120. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersofIdlin, exclamation Discord to join our Discord server. If you're watching it on demand, links in the description.
Send us MogMail!
SpeakersXIV.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post show if you're watching live. Bye!
Bye!
Hey, bye!
Great episode again.